Hi, I'm Doi,
And I'm Minnie.
and we are back. We haven't done one of these since Christmas, I think.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while. But we are back reading from the Smithsonian Book of Comic Book Comics, which was published in 1980. And we're down to our last, I believe, five comics that we're
Wow.
going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at two of them today. The first one is Jingle Jangle Tales by George Carlson, who I am completely unfamiliar with from 1942. But the second one is John Stanley's Little Lulu. Jingle Jangle Tales by George Carlson, the fashionable fireman and the soft boiled collar button. Once upon a time, there was a fashionable fireman who, having lost his appetite in the wars, returned home with a yard of fine buns.
I hope those buns of yours are flavored with steam.
Yeah, I marked them all absent except the last verse. To the war. Now, if I could only find that carnival badge. One day, just as he was about to forget to sing, he met a large grab bag lined with taffy and partly pushed by the king's stepson.
I can play much worse than this, but I forgot how.
All of which was very fine, but he wanted his missing carnival badge, so a very wooden allegro obliged him with the right key, but it was of no help.
3 chairs and a sofa. I won a prize.
Yep, it's a freshly soft-boiled collar button and served in zero sauce. So sweetly did the wooden allegro play the tune that the king's stepson quickly brought him the 14th prize. Why, of all the cheap false alarms, the fashionable fireman was filled with joyful anger. What, no carnival badge here either?
The next day, as the fireman snooged about in his garden, he carefully peeled off a leftover layer of birdhouse.
Here's your 6 letters. I counted them twice and there's still 6.
That very evening, the morning mail arrived.
At last, that moon is full enough. Now I can take the trip.
When everything was measured, he was ready for the journey.
Yeah, and not stumble either. Real great case stuff. To the stirring tune of We'll Meet You at the Coffee Grounds, he started off. With him were some 7-inch detours who bore a quart of moist moonlight. At exactly 2 foot 6 p.m., they came to a rather cross road.
Yeah, I see.
And when they reached the next verse, the moonlight exploded with greetings and best wishes. One of those hit the fashionable fireman in the early part of the forenoon, and so the parade was closed for repairs. Now let's see. I was looking for a badge, I believe.
Yoo-hoo! Not until on a very Tuesday dawn did the fireman know where he was. Faintly, he saw the soft-boiled collar button, also rocking itself awake in a tiny, soup-footed cradle.
Tuesday.
Boy, that's growing all right. But is it?
No, no, no. Like this. Ow! I don't know anything about music either.
The little collar button grew and waited until he was not old enough. Then he went and took wide warbling lessons from a toothless tutor with a peach-colored birthday. Am I glad I went into the snowball business?
Meantime, the wooden Allegro decided to let his stove polish whenever it wanted to, and
For me?
yash, no one else but. Then one shaky Thursday, he received a large package of fresh spring air. In the package was a grand idea, so he carefully locked up the moonlight and
Him? No, there's... Oh. Him and his old badge. This ought to worry him.
thereupon he wrote a long letter to the fireman, sending his very best hate and signing it in ice-cold buttermilk.
The fashionable fireman had just unwatered his garden, using new mown molasses for the awful deed.
I'm glad you flowers knew all your manners and that no one asked for a second helping. Somehow it seems that I am not alone.
And for once, he was right. He was not alone.
Who are you, if any?
More. Then suddenly, and quite hard by the soft gate, he spied a lovely blonde mazurka. She was oddly drenched with new sunlight and said nothing in a loud voice. Of course, he gave her the best wrong direction. Little did he know that here at last was the secret about the missing badge.
Welcome. Take the turn to the left and ask a policeman. Left, right, left. Make up your mind. No money in this either.
Just for that, he invited the blonde mazurka to tea. The invitation was sent in next year's mail. Anyway,
I wanted to get rid of this anyway. Aren't you glad you came?
now if I could only tell him.
A lovely feast was spread on a new timetable, so they waited for rain and multiplied it by 6.
Aw, just as I was going to play me a nice game of checkers.
Having no answer, the blonde mazurka danced into the wrong room. There she found the collar button.
Come on, we'll be late.
Taking a long shortcut, they dashed madly out. Well, they dashed out anyway.
At this almost moment, the fashionable fireman was making much more tea. Just as he had exactly 47.5 gallons, he made a great discovery.
Heavens, that's just what I wanted to know. I'll see now if I can get that mazurka to talk.
Speeding merrily out, he added it all gently up in tops and marbles. Yahoo! Very pretty. Now let me hear your sewing lesson.
There in his front backyard, he found the blonde mazurka threading soap bubbles while the soft-boiled color button sang almost sweetly. The blonde mazurka saw him. In a slow hurry, she tore off the sun-drenched wig, and there, before the fireman could say Rock Jabinson, stood the wooden allegro.
Aha! Big boy, I pulled a fast one on ya then. You thought I wanted to kidnap him. Well, I didn't. He just now slipped me your carnival badge.
What?
And so the fashionable fireman learned the glad but awful truth.
You really mean it then?
Ah, skip it. Sure. He got it free with his gargle lesson, and it's a nice grade A cream color.
6 more or less weeks passed. This came on a Monday, so the fashionable fireman began to wear his badge until the cream color turned to grade B. Then he invited the wooden allegro to tea, this time without starch. I still want to get rid of this, and I am still glad you came.
The soft-boiled color button finally got back to his uncle in China, from whom he still takes warbling lessons in the key of Q and not so sour.
We are not reading this dialogue balloon because this is incredibly racist.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I thought he was just going to say meaning more schmaltz.
So this is what's there. But the fashionable fireman never heard from him again. So to this day, he wears his cream-colored carnival badge to all the fashionable fires. The end. What happened?
I feel like I need to reread it.
Like, it's supposed to be like surreal and stuff, right?
I feel like I need to reread it. I feel like I missed so much.
What's a mazurka?
It may be a kind of dance or kind of song. Or maybe both. It's a bit lively.
About George Carlson, the first thing that strikes one about George Carlson is the uniqueness of his drawing style. All curves and circles and flow, all boldness in its comics figures. But the second is his swirling ingenuity in designing and filling the individual comic book page. And the third, which comes as one begins to read him, is the apparently absolute sureness Carlson has in what he is doing, whatever that may turn out to be. In 1970, Harlan Ellison, science fiction author, screenwriter, offered an appreciation of Carlson's work as a comic of the absurd. And in the course of his essay, he invoked most of these modern writers whose work is apt to involve and move us before we are quite sure what they are up to. Pirandello, Kafka, Genet, Beckett, Pinter, Ionesco. Ellison was writing in the anthology All in Color for a Dime, and both his subject and his approach must have come as a surprise to the book's readers and some of its other contributors, preoccupied as most of them evidently were with the Sakbaram Pawi Shush of the superheroes. Ellison's awe, his enthusiasm, and his careful recounting of one of Carlson's best script episodes could, of course, have been no substitute for the real thing, and most of the book's readers probably had not seen the real thing. George Carlson, 1887 to 1962, came to comics rather late in a long and varied career. In the 1930s and 1940s, he was a prolific illustrator of popular children's books, chiefly for the Platt and Monk Company. He illustrated 8 collections of the Uncle Wiggily stories. He also did the illustration for the original dust jacket for Gone with the Wind, and he was puzzle editor for the National Girl Scouts magazine. That later aspect of his career was revived for the short-lived Puzzle Fun comics. Between the February 1942 and December 1949 issues, The Full Life of Jingle Jangle comics, George Carlson worked on that magazine. He contributed the plotting and drawing to one Jingle Jangle tale and one adventure of the pie-faced Prince of Pretzelburg, Dimwitri by name, in almost every issue. Jingle Jangle comics, like its contemporary Animal Comics and like our contemporary Casper the Friendly Ghost, was a comic book intended for small children, and I expect that the virtues of Carlson's work will not occur to us unless we remember that fact. Carlson's wonderful silliness and follow-your-nose whimsy functioned best when it was uninhibited by any demands of a well-rounded plot, which he did occasionally set for himself. Like another American tale spinner illustrator for small children, Johnny Gruel, the creator of Raggedy Ann. Hey, remember Raggedy Ann?
Yeah.
And Andy?
Yeah.
Carlson functioned best when he improvised, that is, free associated, incident upon incident to an ending, rather in the manner of small children playing an adventure game among themselves and making it up as they go along. All of which leads me here to invoke another name. Enough of litterateurs and playwrights of the absurd. George Carlson was a kind of George Harriman for little children, and the achievement of his work in Jingle Jangle comics is like Harriman's Crazy Cat, but on the level of a small child. I realize that this is praise indeed, and if it is valid praise, then surely what is called for next is a book collection of Carlson's best comics work, a book all to himself. What do we think of this?
I mean, I want to read it again.
You want to read it again now?
I don't know if I want to read it again now, but it begs to be read again. I mean, like, it can't be read as fast as we read it, I don't think.
Now you have to really take into account all of these images and all of these words, like Dr. Seuss type imagery.
But like way more so. Like
Actually, it reminds me of the Phantom Tollbooth.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Phantom Tollbooth, 100%. Like, was it the same era? This is before.
I think the Phantom Tollbooth is the 60s.
So this
Yeah,
is
so this is before. But like them having dinner on a timetable.
or the Crossroad.
Or the
Those are the obvious
Crossroad,
ones,
yeah,
but I
those are
feel
the
like
obvious
there's
ones.
so much that we're missing because we're going so fast.
He wrote a long letter to the fireman, sending his very best hate and citing it in ice cold buttermilk.
Yeah. It reminds me also of the Llama song, which I love.
Yeah.
So it's like if someone who wrote, are we gonna sing the Llama song? I'm sure you know the
I
Llama.
don't remember the llama song.
No, but like you guys
Yes.
know the Llama song.
If you're of a certain age and you were on the internet, you definitely know the llama song. Here's a llama, there's a llama, here's another llama.
But the verses of the Llama song are what I love. It's like I was once a tree house, I lived in a cake, but I never saw the way the orange laid the rake. It makes sense, but it doesn't. But like something about it makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Like when you hear it really quick, like it kind of you think it makes sense, but then you're like, anyway, it's also why I like some BTS songs. Like Dynamite.
Or, Soda Pop.
No, not Soda Pop.
Soda Pop's a little silly.
But not in the same way. Dynamite is really weird. In a good way. Anyway.
This is the Checkers one is really funny.
Why is the Checkers one funny?
Because he's about to play a game of checkers.
Yeah.
But like he's
by himself.
One by himself, but also he's holding a
violin.
So like how is he gonna play the game of checkers? And it's like,
what is a color button? What is a soft boiled color button?
I don't know what that is. A button on a collar that they boiled. All right, let's move on to Little Lulu.
No,
No,
I just feel like I really need to look at it a little bit more. It's like so dense. He grew and grew and waited until he was not old enough. Toothless tutor with a peach-colored birthday.
I feel like we could accomplish this with some cognitive shuffling.
You mean we could write something like this? I feel like it's really hard to write something like this.
I feel like it's a worthwhile challenge.
Okay.
One day.
I mean, would it be cognitive shuffling or would it be like improv? One word at a time. But see, it's too random. Like we wouldn't be able to do it. It's so challenging.
So, for those who don't know, Minnie and I actually did meet. Well, we didn't meet during improv, but we both took improv.
Mhm.
So, that is, I think, what this reminds me of as well. The randomness of improv.
But it's so hard to come up with this in improv, I think. Like we wouldn't be able, we would be
No, this goes
so,
too long, and there's too much going on.
no, but like even in, if we were trying to come up with one paragraph, it would be hard for us. Like, okay, you want to make
No,
a,
but the reason it's hard is because this takes advantage of the medium, the visual medium of comics or picture books, which is like you have these words, but then there's all of this stuff you can put in the background, like corn belt. That's not even that's not even part of the story.
right, but like even the words alone. Okay, let's make one paragraph.
Are we gonna give them improv for free?
Yeah, we never charge for improv,
We did the one time.
did we?
Yeah, we didn't get paid.
No, we didn't get paid. Somebody charged.
Somebody charged.
Okay, let's make one paragraph, one word at a time.
Okay.
It's just a continuation, like one panel. The narrator,
Okay. The
Mazurka, or it's the blonde Mazurka actually. The blonde Mazurka.
who was who?
You want to do words at a
Yeah.
time?
Okay. Who was
Sitting loudly. Because that's the thing, right? It has to be like kind of,
Yeah, right. You're right. It's difficult.
it's difficult. You have to think of something that wouldn't ever normally flow.
No, you're right. It's difficult.
Well, let's try a little bit longer. And you can cut it out if it's not good.
Okay. The fashionable.
Fireman jumped over. See, that's the thing. I'm already thinking of the cow who jumped over the moon.
Okay, you said fireman jumped.
Yeah, fireman jumped.
Above number.
Two in. You have to be faster.
Yeah, we do have to be faster. And, uh, kingdom come.
I guess. And now you have to illustrate
This
that.
is very difficult. Yes.
Okay, so you have to draw a panel now. That's my challenge to you. You have to draw a panel with a fashionable fireman jumping over number two in Kingdom Come. Actually, I do think with a little bit more work, that could be a panel in this.
Yeah, like the fashionable fireman is jumping over the literal number two, um, in heaven.
Oh, is that what Kingdom Come means? Heaven?
Well, it's debatable.
I didn't know that.
All right, let's move on to Little Lulu. What are your memories of Little Lulu?
I know she has a friend who's a boy, and they get in like he's like kind of round, right?
Yeah.
And I remember the theme song, and I remember a fence. There's like a white fence that they're always walking by on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Is Little Lulu kind of A bully?
I don't think so. I think you might be confusing her with Nancy.
Oh, maybe Nancy or Lucy. What is up with little girl bullies? Ah, there's the round boy.
His name is Tubby.
Ah,
Some things may not have aged well.
or is he the reason round boys are called Tubby?
I don't think so.
Ah, cause there is what's his face, Bonjing,
That's true.
and
Bonjing is a Filipino comic book character who became a movie character, which that's his name, and then eventually he's a man baby, and now Bonjing just means man baby.
it's a man baby.
The other one is Kenkoy.
Kenko is the one I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Kenkoy is a Filipino character, which means a very, very silly person. And now it is actually in the Filipino lexicon, meaning very, very silly person.
Yeah.
You know
So,
the word goon came from Popeye.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was a character called Alice the Goon, and she's like really, really strong, and that's where it came from.
Hmm.
So did the word Jeep somehow.
Jeep?
Yeah,
The car?
yeah.
Didn't know that.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right. Marge's little Lulu at the beach. You want to be Tubby or Lulu?
What do you think would be better?
I don't know.
I guess Lulu.
Hurry up, Lulu. Aren't you ready yet?
Let's go!
It's a long way to the beach.
Say, how are we going to get that thing on the bus?
If I didn't pump it up now, I'd have to bring my bicycle pump along.
We may have to pay an extra fare for it on the bus.
I didn't think of that.
There may be a way we can hide it.
How?
There. It only makes you a little fatter.
I can't see my feet.
Here's the bus.
How am I going to get at my nickel? Step up, step up.
Come on, push, Tubby. I'm being squeezed to death.
I'm not. This tube sure makes a nice cushion. Oh,
Sunnyside Beach, last stop.
gosh, somebody let the air out of it.
I wonder who could have done that.
Look at them waves.
I'm getting into my bathing suit.
What are we going to do about this tube?
You're going to blow it up.
So where did he leave his clothes?
I guess he also went in to get in his bathing suit.
That's the best I can do.
That's not so good.
Here, you try it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'll hide the lunch. Food.
Hmm?
Food. Food. Hey, what you doing?
Shh. I guess that's enough. I can't get it away. He won't let go.
Got his teeth clamped on it.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Careful, don't wake him up.
Ugh.
We're dragging him all over the beach.
We got to get this off. Ugh.
Lulu, where are you?
Here, I'm all right.
Gosh, he's still sleeping.
Maybe we better wake him up.
Wait, so Tubby can swim?
I guess.
What does he need this thing for?
For fun?
We'll do it gently so we don't frighten
Hey, mister.
him. Wake up! Hey!
Can we have our tube?
These kids are annoying me.
I'll take care of them. A fine thing.
Kiddie pool. Huh.
Come on, let's go eat our lunch.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
What did you do with it?
I buried it.
Buried it?
Yeah, right here.
Well,
I must have made a mistake.
think hard.
Oh, now I remember. I buried it over by that post.
That post?
Gosh, the tide came in. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait till it goes out again.
Oh, no, we won't. I'm getting hungrier every minute.
It's no use, Lulu. I can't find it.
Help! Help!
Hold on, I'm coming. Quick, where is he?
Where is who?
Whoever is drowning. I heard someone calling for help.
We called for help, but we're not drowning. We're just starving. Our lunch is down there somewhere.
I hit it. Well, I'll be. I can't believe he's smiling.
Some lifesaver he is. You might as well forget about that lunch.
I'm hungry. I worked up an appetite diving for that lunch.
I could eat a whole whale all by myself. We still have 2 nickels.
But that's car fare home.
If we didn't have to worry about car fare, we could buy 2 hot dogs.
I better get those nickels. Someone might steal them if we leave them in the bathhouse. I got them.
Let's just go and look at those hot dogs.
Remember, this is our car. Oop!
Tubby!
Plunk, plunk. They fell down between the boards.
And don't come out till you find them.
Good thing I lost so much weight from starvation. Otherwise, I couldn't fit under here.
They're right about here.
I got them.
What happened, Tubby?
I ripped something on a nail.
That's all right. Your mom can sew it when you get home.
But I can't come out. The rip is back here.
Oh.
Hey!
It's that lifeguard again.
Come out of there.
He can't.
All right, I'm coming in after you. You're not supposed to go under the boardwalk. Rip.
Uh-oh.
I ripped my bathing suit. I ripped mine in the same place. Listen, little girl. Run over to the first aid station and ask for a needle and thread.
Sure.
If they haven't got any, at least get us something to wear.
The trouble those men can get into. Sometimes I think a girl is better off without them.
You think so?
Mm.
A needle and thread? I'll see.
Mister, what are those kids doing here?
Oh, they're lost. We keep them here till their mothers come and pick them up. Meantime, we try to keep them happy.
Yow!
Oh? What's the matter with you?
I'm lost. And hungry. Mostly hungry.
I can't find any needle or thread.
I'll borrow this hat. Thanks, mister.
Hey, where are you going? You better stay here or your mother will never find you. Come back here. What took you so long?
He didn't have any needle and thread, but I got you something to wear. You can take turns wearing it. I have to go now.
Hey!
He won't dare follow me in here.
Clunk. A few minutes later.
I guess the coast is clear. I hope the lady won't mind my borrowing this. Here, put this on.
Fine. Hey, this is a...
Be careful with that. I just borrowed it.
I got to get to the bathhouse before anyone sees me.
Tee-hee. Creepers, there's that man who's after me.
Hey, you can't go in here, lady.
Get out of my way.
Cut it out, lady.
Let go.
Help!
Hmm?
I'm coming.
Will I be glad when summer's over? Help!
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 Why don't you kids please leave me alone? If I have any strength left, I'm going to whale the tar out of you.
Who, me?
No, not you, you big oaf.
Put me down and say that again.
I think we better hide again. That's the most heroic thing I ever saw, lady.
Ah, shut up. Shut up.
Now for those kids. They've disappeared. I hope I've seen the last of them.
See you outside, Tubby. Ready?
Yeah, let's go. I'm hungry.
I can fix that. Just tell the man you're lost. And don't take all day.
The end. What do you think?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Some shades of tinted in the cartoon.
Ah, yeah, I could see that. Is this before Tintin?
After.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. How old is Tintin?
Quite old.
How come it's not in this?
Because this is American comics.
Ah. Doesn't say that.
I know. But this is American comics.
What year was Tintin?
I want to say the 30s.
This is also the 30s.
So
So they might be at the same time.
Little Lulu, Little Lulu. was, well, this one is 1945.
Ah,
About Little Lulu and John Stanley. Late in 1934, there was a small crisis at the Saturday Evening Post. The magazine was losing Carl Anderson's popular weekly panel cartoon, Henry, to King Features Syndicate. Do you know Henry?
no.
It's a comic strip, boy without a mouth. He's the only one who didn't speak.
Hmm.
An editor at the Post asked a regular contributor to the magazine, Marjorie Henderson Buell, she signed her cartoons Marge, for help in coming up with a replacement for Henry. The Post wanted a childlike Henry, but a girl this time. The editors noodled out the name, Mrs. Buell told an interviewer more than 30 years later. I was too busy thinking about how she'd look and what she'd do. The name the editors noodled out was Little Lulu. For a design, Mrs. Buell essentially added a skirt and corkscrew
Oh.
and corkscrew curls to Henry's shoe button eyes and upturned nose. The new character was a devilish child, heiress to a long line of such characters that in newspaper comics extended back to the Yellow Kid, Buster Brown, and the Cats and Jabber Kids. Like theirs, her mischief, as displayed in a weekly panel, often bordered on the malicious.
Yeah.
So she was.
So that's why I was thinking she might be a bully. Maybe not a bully, although she's a little bit.
She's a little bit.
Yeah.
It is confusing because Nancy is also, and Nancy's also wears red and
Right.
has a round friend
Yeah.
named Slugo.
Yeah. And then there's also Lucy, who's also dark haired. She wears a bit of a similar dress, I suppose, but it's not red.
You know, Lucy was based on Charles Schultz's first wife.
Wow. Why isn't Charlie Brown in this?
Because this is comic books. There's a separate book for comic strips.
Okay. They had books. Anyway, go on.
Lulu first appeared in the Post for February 23, 1935, and ran there until the end of 1944. 1935 to 1944.
Ah.
By that time, Lulu was also appearing in animated cartoons and in ads for Kleenex tissues. The Post didn't want me to go into large-scale business with Lulu, Mrs. Buell has said, but I wanted to see what she could do in all forms. We parted amicably. A few months after Lulu left the Post, she made her debut in a comic book. That first issue of Little Lulu was written and drawn by a cartoonist named John Stanley. At the Beach, the first of the 4 stories we have chosen for his book, is from that issue. Stanley also wrote and illustrated the second issue of Little Lulu. After that, he drew only the covers, but he wrote everything in each issue for 13 or 14 years. About 150 issues, all told, and his writing made Little Lulu an extraordinary comic book. John Stanley was born on March 22, 1914 in New York City, and he worked briefly at the Max Fleischer Animation Studios, made drawings for Disney merchandise, and held down other jobs before he began writing and drawing stories for Western Printing and Lithographing Company, which produced comic books for publication by another company, Dell, in the early 1940s. At that time, Western produced many comic books for small children, most of them edited by Oscar Lebeck. Lebeck ruled with a light hand, and cartoonists like Walt Kelly, Dan Noonan, Morris Golub, and of course John Stanley did charming and funny work for him. It was Lebeck who assigned Stanley to Little Lulu. I'm sure it was due to no special form of brilliance he thought I'd lend to it, Stanley told Don Phelps. It could have been handed to Dan Noonan, Kelly, or anyone else. I just happened to be available at the time. To say that Stanley wrote Little Lulu is actually a little deceptive, since he was responsible for more than the plots and the dialogue. He sketched each story in rough form so that he controlled the staging within each panel and the appearance and the attitudes of the characters. The finished drawings were made by other cartoonists. The 3 later stories in this book were illustrated by Irving Tripp. Stanley himself disliked the published drawings, too static for me, but in fact, the static style seems appropriate for such highly stylized characters. Like the panel cartoons, Stanley's stories had a strong flavor of the 1930s. Most obviously the children, especially the boys, dressed in styles of that decade, knickers, shorts, and so on. Lulu's hometown was not suburban, but looked like an eastern city of the Depression years. Small, plain houses with tiny yards or none at all. Many front doors opened directly onto the sidewalk. Families were small, 1 or 2 children, and the parents usually middle-aged or close to it. Like the Archie stories, whose trappings were similarly dated, Stanley's Lulu stories remained frozen in time, with only a few concessions to post-war changes. The anachronisms seem never to have bothered Little Lulu's readers. At first, Stanley's conception of Lulu herself owed quite a bit to Marge's, but Stanley's Lulu was not so much mischievous as single-minded. She had a very clear idea of what was important to her, and she wasn't distracted by irrelevancies like what adults thought was important. Children are, after all, very serious about their own concerns, and Stanley's stories abound in collisions between adults and children, all of whom are behaving reasonably on their own terms. For the first few years, Stanley worked mainly with Lulu herself and her friend Tubby, who was, like Lulu, inherited from the magazine cartoons. Other children appeared in more or less interchangeable roles until around 1950. Stanley gave Tubby a group of friends, Willie, Eddie, and Iggy, and a clubhouse, and gave Lulu some other girls to play with, including a buck-toothed gamine named Annie. The rivalry between boys and girls, an element in the series from the start, was magnified by the presence of so many children from both sexes. Lulu herself became a good little girl who outsmarted the boys, instead of triumphing through sheer brass as she had in the past. Many of the stories built around the rivalry theme are ingenious and funny, and the best of them spiral upward until the boys become the victims of a comic catastrophe like the one at the climax of Five Little Babies, which follows here. Stanley found other ideas that could be nursed into comic life and exploited in one story after another. For example, Tubby assumed Lulu's old role as a serenely egocentric child, resenting all adult efforts to deflect him from his course. He played that role brilliantly in a string of stories in which he became the Spider, a detective wreaking all the havoc necessary to solve a case. Lulu's father was invariably the culprit, although he was, of course, no culprit at all by adult standards. Stanley's most striking departure from the feature he inherited from Marge was in the stories that Lulu told to Albin, a vicious little next-door neighbor whose personality was not far removed from that of the magazine cartoon Lulu. Beneath the laughter, Stanley's mock fairy tales could be as strong as the real fairy tales. Lulu was the featured player as well as the narrator, and she often took part of a cheerful Candide in a world otherwise filled with greedy and stupid people. In The Little Rich Boy, the story we have chosen for this book, the fairy tale Lulu is an ingenue indeed. The fairy tale Lulu is an ingenue indeed, until she gets rich. Then she takes revenge with a chilling thoroughness on the boy who has scorned her love. While he was writing Little Lulu, Stanley contributed scripts to many other Dell comic books, and in the 1960s, after leaving Lulu, he both wrote and illustrated a few, like Melvin Monster, but he left comic books years ago. His comments on comic books, even his own work, have become rather sour. And he has worked recently for a silk screening company in upstate New York. That sounds sad and unfortunate. So I thought that was fun.
It's pretty fun.
I'm not sure I have much to say about it.
Well, I'm curious about the whole Tauntaun
Influence.
influence. Because it's like,
It's right there.
it's a lot everywhere, actually. Like, even at the end, with the guard in the dress
Yeah.
turning his head, he looks like Braddock or
Mm.
Haddock? Haddock?
Yeah,
What is his
the two. Oh, Captain Haddock?
Captain Haddock,
Yeah.
a little bit blonde Haddock. And then the story is very much, it reminds me of like a Jughead.
I can see that. I like how clean everything looks. And how the round people are quite round.
I
It
really
is
like
amusing.
the cheeks.
The blush.
No, it's not just a blush, you know, it looks like, it really looks like there's these balls, pink, red, glowing balls on there.
It is a nice touch.
Yeah.
It does feel like it doesn't really build up to a joke so much as it's a series of jokes.
Yeah.
And the ending is just like, well, I ran out of pages. I guess Little Lulu actually was a bully, and I feel like that would have been more interesting than what she eventually became, the original treatment. But also, I feel like there's more space for her being a bully in a comic strip rather than a comic book, it might get old really quickly in a longer story, but it might be funny with like in 4 panels
Maybe.
on a daily basis.
Was Dennis the Menace a strip?
I don't think Dennis was a strip until much later.
So it was originally a book?
Oh, I thought you meant. Oh no, Dennis the Menace was a strip, yeah.
Both Dennis the Menaces?
Well, the British Dennis the Menace, which came out at the same time as the American Dennis the Menace. The British Dennis the Menace debuted in a magazine called the Beano.
He was more of a menace than the American, right?
The American Dennis the Menace is really just a troublemaker.
Yeah.
British Dennis the Menace is a juvenile delinquent.
I now want to see like a cross, universe with like.
Both Dennis the
Well,
Menaces.
no, let's have both Dennis the Menaces. Let's have like Lulu. Let's have Lucy. Let's have Nancy. Just a crew of like ne'er-do-wells. I guess American Dennis would probably be the nicest one of them. Maybe.
Could be. This is how big these comics were back in the day. I have relatives named Nancy, Henry, and Slugo. Named after Nancy, Henry, and Slugo. Slugo is Nancy's friend.
Right, and Henry is
the
original
little Lulu, apparently.
Was he a bully?
I just know he was the guy who couldn't talk.
Mm.
Like, because he was designed like that with no mouth.
Well, these guys can talk.
I know. It's just a conceit.
Mm.
I kind of miss this look on modern comics, and I'll tell you why.
What look?
Because you see like Tubby's hair here.
Yeah.
Right? And you know how like those are just 3 lines.
Yeah.
I feel like modern comics, you can't really do that, because if you were to do that digitally and you colored that orange, then the whole thing would end up being colored.
Ah.
So a modern artist who was working digitally would close that. So I do kind of miss this kind of incomplete looking look.
It depends how they do the coloring.
Also, cross-dressing stuff, really a staple of humor back in the day.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be as amusing today.
I don't think it's as amusing today. But
or you'd have to work hard to make it amusing. You have to work really hard.
You would have to work hard. It's funny because I bundled these two together because I didn't think there would be much to say about George Carlson. But I think I had more to say about George Carlson than with Lulu.
Lulu is really cute.
It's really cute.
The body language, like her like going like this, it's pretty cute. With their frowns.
Yeah, the body language, the cartooning is really, really solid in Little Lulu.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's like it's solid and it's good. And I think when something is solid and it's good, there isn't a heap ton to say about it. It's like, oh yeah, it's good. It's funny. Feels good to be back on the Comics Cube.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right, everyone, click like, share, and subscribe, and tell us what you think of these 2 comics.
Or you know what to do. Did we do that?
I don't think we do.
Yeah.
But you know what to do. Everyone, click like, share, and subscribe, and support us on Patreon. Let us know what you think of these 2 comics.